if we go to the core of non-duality, to the core teaching of the whole thing, it really boils down to this. This body is not me. This becomes clearer and clearer as you stay with the teaching. So, and since the body is not me, what I find in the absence of the belief that this body is me, I just find like a brightness, like a certain, and I think that's called, awareness. And there's just an awareness, but it's not my awareness. But that awareness will be, it's dragged by attention. And attention is not something that I control. Like if there's a car wreck right now, I can't not look at that wreck. Don't look at the wreck. It might be, the wreck's already been looked at, assessed, and everything else, and judged which one was right or which one was wrong instantly. But the willingness to notice that my attention, the body is not me, is not really my attention. It's just attention. And thinking that the body is me is part of that attention. When I tell myself the truth and I say the body is not me, well, I could say that I'm awareness, okay, but what is that? I don't know. So can I be honest enough to say, I don't know what I am? And that's the truth. I know who I am in the sense that, we find that out within non-duality. You find out what you are, but you still don't know what it is. You know it's awareness, you know it's God, you know whatever it is that you want to call it, but you still don't really know what that is. So when I don't know what I am, and that I notice that I can't, or who I am, I notice that I can't know, in the absence of that center, I can't know what's going on here. And without knowing what's going on here, I can't possibly come up with the judgment that this is wrong. Because when I don't know who I am and tell the truth of that, just I don't know who I am, then I notice that I cannot know what should be going on. Because there's no should. There's only this, here, now, as it is. So this is a simple enough observation, but it can be profound experience, and it can be life-changing, profound experience. And how do we come to that place? Fred, can you just tell me how I surrender? No, I can't. But I can tell you that you already do it twice a day. You do it every time you wake up, and you do it every time you go to sleep. You surrender the world of night, or of unconsciousness, which is divided into conscious sleep or a conscious dreaming, which means there's still consciousness at work, and then the dreamless sleep. And the funny thing about dreamless sleep is we can't tell anything because there's no experience. It's not a great experience, not a terrible experience. It's just not an experience at all because there's no one there to experience it. You only live in the world of consciousness. So can I go back to the basics of not knowing what I am and I'm not knowing what's going on here? And you can get there. That's the great unknowing. And you can more or less stay there. It's not actually a place. But that mindset can become your mindset, because and when you say, oh, it couldn't become mine, you're speaking of the body, and I'm not. I'm speaking of you, right? I don't mean with you right now. We're just talking at large. But what is it? What's here? What's here right now? What can everybody experience here right now that is not the body? Imagine right now It's not possible so far as I know, but let's just pretend for just a moment that the bodies that are in this room, the 37 bodies that are in this room, let's for just a moment pretend that they were to disappear, but that the consciousness here were to remain. Can't happen, but pretend that it can. The consciousness would remain. What kind of problems would you be able to report on if you did not have a body? I don't think you can report on any problems. All problems are related to the body, and they are related to the body because I think that I am the body. I believe that I am the body. I think that I experience that I am the body, but I don't, because the body is not me. But what is it that is here right now? Well, if I report from here, which is the only place I can ever report from, there's an aliveness here. It doesn't have anything to do with the body. It doesn't have anything to do with the Fred. There's not anything personal about it, period. There's just an aliveness here. You can, like, I have the sense that that the body is seeing. In fact, awakeness is seeing through the body. The body is actually an instrument for the senses. And so awakeness is seeing through the body. Awakeness is experiencing the virtual reality of Earth world through the body, which is just like its little 3D glasses if we were doing virtual reality. Because this is virtual reality. And in virtual reality, anything can happen, but it doesn't matter because it's virtual. Same thing here. What if all of this was virtual? What if you had on glasses? What if you had on virtual glasses right now? And the funny thing about using virtual glasses is that you soon will more or less forget that you have them on. You know that you do, but you forget that all the effects are really because of that. And you just go on. I can't say this happened here but I didn't use them that much. But effectively, it's a trance-like state. Because I can remember being able to take a little airplane and toss it, and you had to learn exactly how to release it or it wouldn't fly. But if it did fly, it would fly like a jet, and which was incredible to watch. And then it would eventually go down and it would hit the floor and it would explode. None of that happened, but it was experienced. So experience is better than thought. It's more reliable than thought, but it's not the end all be all either. The end all be all is that which exists upon the suspension of thought. It will then can occur simultaneously to thought, but probably there will be some kind of little incident where there'll be a momentary suspension. And then when you have that momentary suspension, it's going to feel like, wow, I got it. Now I know the truth. I finally got it. That's great. That's really something. I must be the special one because I really got something. But that's not true. It's a false declaration because the I, so-called I, redness, it doesn't ever achieve clarity. It never achieves awakening. It's not an achievement. What it really amounts to is that when it feels like I am really clear, that'll be what the mind says. I am really clear now. But the experience, if you notice it, will actually be that clarity is experiencing a Fred-free moment. And in that Fred-free moment, the truth is seen because you've taken away what's false, which is the Fred. You know, it's sort of like the 10 Zen students that were crossing a river, and they all crossed the river, and we got to the other side. They counted each other. You know, they counted each other and said, "Okay, there started up 10 of us. Let's make sure everybody made it." And he counted, and there were 9, only 9. My God, we lost somebody. And somebody said, "Well, let me check. I'll see if I found it." And he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. God, it really only 9 of us made it. We're going to have to go back and see who's missing. I can't even remember who's missing. And they went and got back in the river, and a man showed up on the other side of the shore, and he hollered out and he said, "You forgot to count yourself." That's what we do is, oh yes, there's oneness plus me. We don't count this as being part of oneness. We count it as being the thing that's looking for oneness, experiencing oneness, going to become oneness one day, going to merge with oneness, going to, you know, just fall apart and experience oneness, whatever. Oneness is not an experience, it's what you are. And when you notice, wow, I'm the noticing itself, not the noticed. You could say I'm the noticer, but I can't find anyone actually there to take that, the credit for that.